Hi there. Hi, everyone. Hi, business partners. Hi, so good to see you today. This was a must attend today. I couldn't not being here no matter what. And so I'm so grateful that, we all can meet like this once again. And special welcome to our very important guest, Jim. It's a pleasure to have you join, Jim. Really pleasure to have you meeting you for the first time. And this is the beauty of this business. And so before we actually go right into our discussion this evening, we're going to introduce ourselves quickly and then we'll dive into those hot topics that we have prepared for Jim this evening. Okay, so my name is Margaret King. Coming to you live from out of Ontario, Canada. I'm a digital business owner. I'm a mentor. I work in the corporate world. I do have a beautiful 21-year-old daughter, and it's my pleasure to be here this evening. Micheline?
Oh, hi. Hi, Jim. Thank you for being here. And hello, everyone. Good evening, good afternoon, good morning. This is Micheline. I am coming live to you from Massachusetts, USA. I am a mother of three girls. I'm a digital business owner and I am a mentor. I've been in the business for 16 months. If I still know how to count, I think so too.
And Jam, we met before last week, I think, and thank you for being here with us. My name is Marley Bolden. I am the owner. I am an online business owner for more than 2 years, and then I have two boys and a wife. And coming to you live from Wisconsin. Thank you.
And Jim, this is my first time, I guess, see you. Or well, I've watched some of your interviews. So my name is Teresi Takaluza. I'm a mother of two grown-up ladies. Actually, they're both married, and a grandmother of one. And digital business is just my online. I mean, my side hustle because I have a full-time job as a cook at one of the retirement home here in Calgary. And I've been on this business for 2 years. And I think I did say I live in Calgary. Did I
Yes,
say?
you did.
Okay.
You did. You
And I
did.
think Joy wants to come in.
Okay. We're actually missing one for
She's
Actually,
this.
she wants to
she's
come in.
yeah, she's ready. Yeah, she's on the line.
Oh, is she?
Yeah,
Mhm.
Okay, I'm so sorry.
No worries.
yeah.
Hi, sorry.
Right.
I was just waiting.
Okay,
Hi,
Joy,
Jim.
so
My
we're
name is
actually,
Joy. I am from Pennsylvania. I have been in the business since November of 2019. Nice meeting you.
Great to meet you all. Yeah, thank you so much.
okay, so we would just want to ask Jim just to give us a brief intro about himself, and then we'll dive right into our questions, Jim.
Yeah, that sounds great. Well, you know that my name is Jim. I am a family, well, I'm from a family of eight. My wife and I have six children. And I say I'm from a family as opposed to a father of a family because sometimes Emma and I feel outnumbered. We feel like the tables are so turned the other way. But it's great. Every day is an adventure. And some days it's a ride that you want to get off of, and other times you just want to go around another lap. But it's wonderful. And so, as well as being a father and a husband to my amazing wife, Emma, I am a pastor at a local church and have been doing that for a full time now for 8 or 8.5 years. And prior to that, I was an electrician for 16 years. And now we're also online entrepreneurs as we started to look for something that needed to help us out a little bit. So we can talk about that a little bit more in a little bit. But we're from Northern Ontario in Canada, and we have got a lot of snow going on right now.
Oh, yeah. Okay, so, oh my goodness, so much accolades you have there. The greatest one, though, Jim is being a dad. dad of six,
Sure.
and we have some questions coming up for you.
Great.
So we'll get to know you a little bit more. Okay, so let's just dive into the questions that we have for you. And we'll take the first one, and that will be on the screen. And I think this one is from Tessie. So, Tessie, do you mind going ahead and asking Jim this question?
Sure. Jim, I got two daughters who went to Bible college too, and one married a pastor. So I
Nice.
can't imagine, like, how you being a pastor, an electrician by trade, a digital business owner, and a father of six. How do you manage your time?
Sometimes it's very precise, and other times it's just take it as it comes because sometimes the battle to keep it precise is just not worth fighting. No, the reality is life is full. Life is very busy. Our kids, my wife homeschools them. And so I say her because she does 101% of it. And I just am there for moral support most of the time. No, I desired to be around as much as I could. And so when I was working as an electrician, um, I co-owned a business that we were working with or working in, and every one of our customers was our boss. That's kind of just the reality of being an owner. It seems grandiose and wonderful, and you must have so much control of your time, but really you have so many bosses that want to pull you in every direction that as our family was growing, I had to really start to evaluate what we were going to do with our time. And for Emma and I, we had decided even before we had kids that family was going to be a priority for us. And I tell you, it seems like every aspect of life always wanted to battle against that. And all in good reason, for good reason. As a business owner, it was great. We made good money doing what we were doing, and kind of got to be in control of some of the jobs we did. But time was slipping away. As our kids got older, suddenly they were in activities, and it was a struggle to be able to see how I could help to get the kids to things like hockey practice or dance practice or even be present, let alone just drop them off. But to sit on the other side of the glass at any of those activities, be able to see them when they came out and said, "Hey, you did such a great job." To me, that was something I wanted to be present for, as opposed to just exist within the realm of family. And so that brought us to a place where we switched, out of the trades and business world into a ministry position. We had always volunteered at the church that we were a part of, worked with children and teens for a lot of years, just voluntarily. But then there was an opportunity to step into that full time. And so Emma and I would kind of assess that and said, again, time is not always going to be on our side, in the sense that our kids were getting older. And what do we do? And we kept having them. I don't know what was going on, but suddenly we had 5 and 6 children, around the house. And we thought, how do we make that priority? So we did. We stepped out of that and we went into ministry full time, which was great because now the schedule was a little bit more predetermined. And some things happened in the evening, some things happened on a weekend. So we got to shuffle our schedule around a bit. But with that freedom came a cost, and the cost was our finances, because we did not have the same financial income coming from a pastoral role where we were, as we did with our contracting business. But it was a cost that we were willing to pay. At least we were pretty determined we were going to be willing to pay. But that's where it kind of came to a place where, as our kids continued to grow and their expenses, rose, and we loved to travel and we wanted to still take everybody on the road. And how do we do that now? If it was one thing to buy, 3 plane tickets and then 4 plane tickets, but then suddenly you're buying 7, we might as well have chartered a private jet, to go anywhere, just trying to get around. But we thought there's got to be a way to be able to step into something that was flexible, and for us, it had to be that. It had to be both flexible and sustainable. And then that's when we stepped into the digital business world. Something we could do as a side hustle, especially at the beginning, it was very side hustle. We've been at it now for, it'll be 3 years this May. But it was something we knew we were wanting to build that would give us the flexibility, the added income to offset expenses, to be able to provide so that we can continue to make family our priority. So how do we juggle it all? To be honest with you, some days I don't know. You just kind of go with the flow. But that was the reason why this digital business was so important to us, because it's something we could take anywhere. So I deal with my schedule now as a pastor. We deal with our schedule as a family. And then this business just fits into whatever slots we have, and it's ample time to be able to do it. So you just got to get creative, and this provided us that creative edge. So we're thankful for it.
That's great.
That's really, really awesome. Because I listen to you, Jim, and I'm not sure where you find that time, especially being a father. You're a father of six, but it's really nice to know that you're scheduling your time and you're really honoring those time management. So kudos to you, and we love you more for that. Okay, so let's move to our next question.
Yeah, that is mine, Jem. Is going to be short and sweet. So, so how did you find this online business, by the way?
Uh-huh. Yeah, we asked ourselves that question a few times early on too, because we were not looking for anything that necessarily led us to the thoughts of online. We were looking for flexibility, and we were looking for something that wouldn't interfere with the priorities of our family. And so it was actually out of desperation. What's that adage? It says that necessity is the mother of invention. You know, when you're in those deep kind of dire places, suddenly you come up with something. And I remember laying in bed one night because my wife had made a comment. We had, by this point, we had our sixth, and he was just over a year old. Life was full. And my wife often, would have a hard time making it past 8 o'clock in the evening, without being ready to head to bed. And I would take over, that parenting thing as the evening went on with our older ones, getting them to bed. But she was exhausted. But she said this because we were faced with a bit of that difficulty when I mentioned that our kids were in activities, and they loved it, and they were doing great, like competitive dance, competitive hockey, and they were doing such a good job, and we were there, part of it. But it came to the point where we thought we can't do this anymore, and we
Nice.
can't plan that trip in the spring or that trip in the fall, because we just don't have the means to do it. So it's time to say no, which is fine. There's no problem to say no, but the thought was, is there a way for us to say yes before we say no? And she had mentioned to me that evening, maybe I should pick up some extra hours, working in the evening, maybe stocking shelves somewhere, or, working at a store like Michael's, this is craft store. And I just thought, oh no, like, there's no way she can do it. But I could sense the desperation in her, saying there's got to be a way for us to bring in a little bit extra income. And when I used to run the electrical contracting company, no problem. We just took on an extra job, and I'd go in an extra hour or two, in a day, and maybe pick up a bit of stuff on an evening or on a weekend. But now, like, the family was full, and bedtime was a job in and of itself. If you have kids, you know what that battle is like.
Oh yeah.
So then I could see, she thought, well, once we get the bulk of them down, maybe I could go and do something in the evening. And I laid in bed that night, and I thought, there's got to be something I can do. And I was actually, on my phone, and, sure enough, just scrolling through Facebook. And I can't even tell you, I was looking for something. I was probably trying to block it out of my mind, just like numbing myself with the scroll of, there's got to be something out here that'll entertain my mind and help me go to sleep. But I came across somebody's post on Facebook, and it was a family of four. Two of their boys were really competitive hockey. The husband traveled often. He was a linesman, as an electrician as well. And she had said that they had found a way to bring in some extra income, and she was so thankful. And I just read her story, and that was it. I mean, it was no billboard anywhere. I wasn't out looking for jobs or anything. It just hit me, and I just reached out. We had a conversation. She explained the details, and here we are, almost 3 years later. Thankful that we came across it. So To make a long answer out of a short question,
Yeah,
that's
that's amazing story. That's amazing story. Thank you so much, Jem, for sharing that with us.
Okay. Are you breathing, Jim? Because we have some really hot topics coming up. So
bring them on.
okay, so
I think this is Joy.
Okay.
No.
okay, so let me just go ahead and ask you this one, Jim. What made you choose a business of this nature? Because I know you're a pastor, and I know the responsibilities that are placed on your shoulders as a pastor, and I know that with a family of six, and as a business owner, and you have other things going on in your life. Why did you choose a business of this nature? I think you kind of touched on it based on Merle's question, but on a broader level,
Yeah.
what made you choose a business of this nature?
Yeah. Well, definitely the flexibility was something that this offered that I couldn't find anywhere else. Like I had mentioned, I didn't want to get into something that either took Emma or I regularly out of the house and regularly out of our routine. Um, it just didn't fit with our family values. And so, sitting in on somebody else's schedule on a board saying you have to be here these times, these times, these times, and commit to those, it just wasn't practical for us. And so it had to be something that we had the ability to control when we were on and when we were off. And there were not many options out there. We figured it would have to be something that either we created, in terms of we got to run it, or it was something that we could step into that gave us that flexibility. And so this option kind of gave us both. We got to be our own independent business owners in this community, with no sales quotas or distribution requirements or stocking of products and, reordering products. Like we didn't want to have to get into that kind of thing, where suddenly, again, had to be in certain places, certain times, to ship things, to do things. It just wasn't going to work for us. We had to be in something where it was still very flexible, but that we got to control. And so this business offered us that, where we could get into kind of being the pilot, if you like, at that steering wheel and be able to take it where and when we wanted to go. Now, like you had mentioned, there is that element of uncertainty, that leap of faith at the beginning, stepping into any business,
Yeah.
whether you're a franchise owner for Taco Bell or whatever, there's always that uncertainty of, is this going to work? Is it not going to work? But you overcome that because there's plenty of people, especially I loved in this community. As soon as we took that first step in and just took a look at it, you could see so many success stories, and they weren't people that seemed so polished and perfected and had these great business scenarios. They were everyday people, taking terrible pictures of themselves and posting them in our community. It's like, that was a very blurry picture, but they were successful. They were thankful that they had brought in 2 or 3 or 10 or $15,000 in a month, and it was like, wow, this seems legitimate. And so, we treaded lightly early on because we didn't want to lead anybody into something that wasn't legitimate. But as we began to do our due diligence and check things out, you could see that this was just that. It was a business like so many other businesses out there, but this had that element of sustainability. And it wasn't just a quick, make a bit of money and then it's shut down, chase down all your friends and sell them all these little products and try and sell 1,000 things so you can make, some money. This was something that was legitimate, sustainable, and that we could build, over time at the pace we wanted. So that's what drew us here, was that sustainability and the flexibility, and then that integrity that was a part of the business community.
Great, thank you. And a whole lot more. Whole lot more.
Yep.
Not a bag of chips, but a whole lot more. So it's fantastic how we're all here today. Let's just dive into the other question. I think this one is for Joy. It's coming from Joy.
Is your target niche more of a faith-based one? Because
Mm,
we do ads and all that.
yeah,
So
yeah,
how do you present yourself? Being the pastor yourself or being the family man yourself?
yeah. Well, for us, it was about being as honest as we could be about who we were and who we are. So when we reach out to other people and offer the opportunity to, coach and mentor them into this and get them connected so they can start earning online, it's really a matter of sharing a few different things. When it comes to communication online or advertising, attraction marketing, whatever you want to call it, often there's a conversation about the why. We knew our why. Why did we want to get started online? Well,
Mhm.
we wanted to provide for our family. We wanted to be able to do it in a flexible way. So I think that's a lot of people's stories. But we found it was also really important for us to communicate the who. And if we weren't honest about the who, then the why would often fly by the wayside. So when we started communicating as honestly and openly about who we were, um, we actually removed a lot of our specific uh, outreach, targeting, if you like, in terms of how to connect with people. And we just let our story do that. We actually avoided trying to narrow it down to
Yeah.
specific niche people thinking that, hey, they probably really appreciate this too. And we're thankful to share it with them. And instead, yeah, we shared that, hey, we're involved in ministry. We're a homeschooling family. We've got 6 children. We love to travel and needed to find another way. I'm an electrician. Like all those different things all come out because there might be somebody else like us out there
Exactly.
that is looking for an answer that I was desperate to find, that we were desperate to find. So what have we found? Well, we've found similar people,
Mm.
attracted to who we are, without even necessarily having to go after them. And that was the beauty of attraction marketing, was we just shared our story and people
Mhm.
started reaching out to us and they'd say, hey, I resonate with that, or hey, me too. And so we have in our community now, we have homeschooling families from different parts of the world, like literally Australia, out just south of Calgary. Some big families, some of them have 6 and 7 kids as well because they saw pictures with us with our big family. We have people involved in ministry, worship leaders. We have other people who are just, mechanics and involved in other things, and the story resonates with them as well. So the beauty of this is you get to be yourself. You don't have to pretend to be somebody. You don't
Mhm.
have to put on a mask or a facade to try and connect with people. The more authentic you are, the easier it is to be able to just share your story, and you'll find people who are looking for the same.
Hmm. Yeah.
Thank you for that.
Thank you.
Thank you, Jim. Let's move on to our next question. And I think this one is coming from me again, Jim. So,
Sure.
um, to what do you attribute the success you've been experiencing in your business?
Hmm. Well, that's some days I wish I knew it more clearly than others because I just do a whole lot more of that.
Okay.
But I would say that a good part of the success that we have seen is from just doing our due diligence, treating it like it is meaningful and it's a business. Um, I would say at the very beginning, I was very passionate about it. Emma wasn't involved so much from the beginning. Like I say, we had little ones, and so she would jump in on things. She's much better in terms of connecting, in terms of social media and sharing our journey, because we want to be as open, with our community as we possibly can be. But over time, you kind of get into ruts, just like you would in other work or businesses. But I found that when we took our time to make sure that we did our due diligence of learning and researching, and when there was some time, we focused in on that business and saw it that way. If we wanted it to succeed, we had to apply ourselves. In certain seasons, we could apply more than others, but always being aware of it. And again, it's something that is somebody spoke this to me, and it stuck with me. And it was that anything that has value will always cost you something. You
Mhm.
can't expect something to just come freely all the time, and say, well, it'll just figure itself out. It doesn't work like that. There's something about stewardship and owning something that says, this deserves my time and I can do better. This is working really great and I can do better than that. Just today, some of the stuff that we do in the business is connecting with other people, right? Through, outreach and sponsored or running ads and stuff. And, one was working pretty good. Everything was saying it was really good, but it wasn't getting the results I wanted. So, you have to cut that off. You prune it like you would a beautiful rose bush, It takes some time to go through and prune it. And if you do it, it becomes more and more beautiful as it goes. And so if we desire to see great things, if we desire to succeed in whatever we do, it's going to take that time applied. It's how Emma and I view our family. If our family gets our seconds or our leftovers constantly, then we communicate something to them, and we should only expect lower level, response and quality from our children and our family. But we know we need to invest ourselves. So in this, the success we've had, I thank God, for it, and for the inspiration. But, I don't get it just by, praying, in the morning, God, make our business grow. God, make our business grow. I feel like he's like, that's what I gave you, to your vision for, own it.
Oh, great.
Appreciate a vehicle unless you get in it and drive it. That's what I feel.
Exactly. Exactly. Powers in the action, right? So I like that because I'm a Christian myself, and we can pray, but God gives us that power and that knowledge and that wisdom to
Yes.
execute everything and do it. It's all in the action. So thank you for that response. We do have the last question for you, and I think it's from Micheline.
Yes. So, what would you say to our viewers who would like to start this business but are afraid of what others might say about them, or simply just afraid of the privacy?
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. I would say to you that there are elements of this business that may seem overwhelming, or even the concept of it seems like it's out of reach for you. I laid on my back that night in bed looking at that opportunity, not really knowing what it was, started a conversation, found out, that this was an online business venture, and thought, I know nothing about this. I mean, I am still social media almost illiterate. Like I'm not good at it
Love
at
it.
all. And so trying to run an online business, I thought, oh my goodness, but I could apply myself. I could try. I could actually go through it. And, the concepts of privacy and stuff, sure, everybody treads lightly at the beginning, and all of this can be done separately as a business. Doesn't have to cross over to your personal stuff if you don't want to. And we did that at the very beginning. We weren't even sure. We wouldn't even connect with people in our province at the time. I was like, I don't want anybody to see this anywhere because I don't even know if this is legitimate right now. And so we got to choose where it was, and it was anywhere in Canada or the U.S. or the rest of the world, but not in Ontario. And so we would make sure, but. As we got going in it, we thought, my goodness, like, why not? Like this is like somebody running a business downtown. Who would be the one to say, oh, let's cover up the sign so nobody sees it? We don't want anybody to come to our business. And when you understand what it is an amazing business opportunity. And all of the training and the coaching and mentoring builds you up so that you know what you're doing, that you know what you're saying. I mean, literally, the training that we have would cost tens of thousands of dollars to go to and to attend, but you get to take it in step by step, one step at a time, and become really good at it. So now I understand things I didn't know before. I thought Facebook and all those things were just a way to catch up with old friends, but now you see a tool that is in your hand to connect with people. And yeah, in terms of the integrity, I have no problem now, connecting. We have a neighbor across the street, who we've got connected and are mentoring. A couple other people that we know from our church that are building their online business right now. And so we're thankful for the integrity that is there, that there's no need to hide. There's no need to run away from it, in terms of trying to run it from your closet and pretend it doesn't exist. There is that connection. But do your due diligence. There's no risk in this business. There's no pressure or high pressure sales stuff, or you've got, in the next 10 minutes, this offer will expire, and if you don't jump in now, double the cost. It's not like that. And that was what I loved about it. Take your time, check it out, reach out and ask, some questions, check out a webinar, and take those steps through the process and examine it. If it's for you, awesome. If it's not, no problem. There's 6 or 7 billion other people out there that we're happy to connect with. If they're interested in building this business online, we don't need to chase, everybody that's around us. And yeah, we're thankful that we got started.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for that, Jim. Well said. Oh my God, everything is just to the point. There's nothing more to add. And for those people who are watching, Jim laid it out this evening, no question asked. And so it's just a pleasure to have you join, Jim. It's really our pleasure. And of course, the other ladies would definitely agree with me that it's our
Yes.
pleasure to have you on to share your journey and to kind of just expound on some of the questions that we have. And I'm sure our viewers will now understand that the business is legit, it's authentic, and it's for real. And I'm really happy that you got the chance this evening to share this platform with us. And I hope that we can have you again. I know it's hard and it was difficult to get you on, but we're really looking forward to have you on one of our other episodes
Mhm.
to give some more insights because I really, really enjoy this discussion. I'm not sure if the ladies want to add anything before we go to Jim. No?
Well, we just want to say thank you, Jem,
Thank
for
you.
being here with
Yes.
us. And then Joy and
Tess.
Tessie has to leave early because of their commitments. But we really appreciate your time with us. I know that you're so busy. Oh my goodness. But thank you, thank you, thank you.
Oh, you're very welcome. Thanks so much for having me. I really appreciate it. It's great to see you guys succeeding and stepping out. And I just pray that things will continue to open up and there's great success.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you once again, Jim. And we're looking forward to having you join us. Okay.
Sounds great. Thank you
And
so
for Great. And for all those viewers, you can head on over to our website, any one of us website, and check out this broadcast. And for those of you who didn't get a chance to watch it now, please go back and watch the replay. There's so many nuggets here to walk away with, lessons learned too. So please go to the website and tune in. Once again, thank you so much, Jim, and thank you, ladies, for being here. And we'll talk again soon.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.